What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 168 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. And of course, we have a special guest this week as well. Fresh off his amazing win on camera this week at Hartford, we have none other than Mr. James McGarity Jr.
That is me, and I'm like, literally, when you say the word fresh, I'm like as fresh as can be. I got back like a couple hours ago. I'm exhausted, but we're here, and I'm really happy to be here. And
Also, hey, what's up, Carl?
Hi. Nah, it's
Hi,
fine.
Carl.
You skipped out on me last week, Carter.
Okay,
So you're gonna do the heavy lifting today.
Skipped out. Is that we tried to record. I had to pause because Tiff was stuck in hail, and I looked down and I have a message saying, "Hey, if I don't make it alive, make it home alive, I love you." I'm like, what? What the actual hell is going on? So nerves were a little high, and then I come back and you're like, "Hey, bad news! The entire 35 minutes we've recorded has been corrupted."
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going away.
I didn't know about the first part. That's really. I mean, the second part. That's really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about the hailstorm. I didn't hear about the 35-minute recording that got corrupted.
Yep.
Tough. Hate to see it.
Yep. And I think that's the only time we've ever had an issue, and because we never pause in the middle of a recording.
Yeah, we never
It's
just
always,
stop.
We shoot all the way through. And like I said, I happen to look down and see that. I'm like, I have something I need to go take care of real quick. And then I come back and Carl's like, yeah, about that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, who do we blame? Jay. All right,
I was gonna blame Angelo. It's probably
I'm about
his
to
fault
say.
this time.
It could be his fault too.
All right, cool.
That worked for me.
We can blame Ro. It'll be fine.
Probably his fault. So, I guess we should probably start out. Jay, what's your favorite PS5 game? Because I need game recommendations.
Damn, putting me on the spot. Right now it's probably Jedi Survivor, but if I had to do PS exclusive, it's Bloodborne.
Okay.
Good choice.
Which it's on the pass or whatever, right?
Is.
Okay.
If you had to
be,
choose
yeah.
like PS5, I'd probably go like the Spider-Man games. I like Miles Morales. I was playing through that a little bit.
So I have finally broke down and bought a PS5. And I've spent exactly 1 hour playing my PS5 in the last 2 days. It's awesome, and I am 3 generations of games backed up because I haven't touched one since the PS3 existed.
Well, I love my PS5. It's a lot of fun. Me, you, and Poppy need to have some game sessions on it.
So here's the other thing. My original account, Mr. Missouri 25, got hacked back in 2013.
Okay.
And I went through the whole recovery process and everything, and I called Sony, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it says your recovery information is the birthday you have on file." It's like,
and you had the wrong birth year.
I have no idea what birthday I put. They're like, well, we can see your game history, and I literally am explaining, these are the last 20 games I've played. I can prove this is me. I was 13 when I made this account. I don't know what birthday I used.
It's all right. Just start.
Sorry.
New.
Just start over at that point.
So the account I have is the one I made the day I got locked out, and Sony pissed me off.
Let's go. We got some cringe name.
No, it's just Mr. Missouri. I don't have the numbers on it. I'm mad.
Spite.
Nah, it's fine.
It looks hideous. I hate it.
It's fine.
It's okay. You could have been me and have stolen your own name as well, and now I'm JMcG1010 on Twitch instead of JMcG10.
Yep. I remember that, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I feel you. I feel your pain on that one. You lost numbers. I gained numbers.
We just add 10s to the end of Jay's
Jay
name.
stole my numbers is what I'm hearing.
I did, yep.
So I guess we should probably talk about Pokemon or something now.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. It's been an eventful Pokemon weekend. You know, things happened.
I
Yeah.
was telling you before the cast, I watched exactly one round this weekend, and it happened to be the one where you completely bodied Chuppa.
I I I felt like some type of Pokemon beast like just took over my body. Like my focus was so on point for the entirety of that game, and yeah, that was I wasn't expecting it to go the way it did at
Well,
all.
what really gets me, man, is like going into like before game one. One of the commentators said something along the lines of, "We don't even know who this James guy
Yeah.
is. We've never even heard of him." And then like after game one, they're just like, "We don't know who this guy is, but he just played out of his mind."
Yeah, I was listening on the way home. I wanted to just hear what they were saying. And I was more than gracious to hear the compliments that the casters were giving. I think my play spoke for itself. Um, Especially I think the reads that I made in game one were really really good. Game two was just kind of playing a lot more safe, but yeah, game one I led riskier and I played riskier, and it ended up really benefiting me in the long run with specifically the flutter main switching
Hmm.
into the Orthworm spot.
Yeah, just
Um,
beautifully played.
Hmm.
It,
a little bit of outrage luck was nice too.
Yeah,
little
obviously.
outrage luck, little confusion luck, but at the same time, being choice band locked into outrage, you're not touching Fluttermane anyway.
Yeah,
No,
Like
likely.
once you got into that 1v2 1v3 at that
one
point,
v yeah, it was a one v
yeah,
two against Chien-Pao
you just
Dragonite.
win. Yeah, you just like, yeah, this is over.
Yeah, and I was very confident in like my Ice Spinner Chien-Pao calcs.
Hmm.
The whole weekend, none of them were coming close to KOing me. I think my Flutter Mane is calc to survive all of them. So as long as I didn't get critical hit there, I was in a really safe position. Um, it felt real good to pull it out. My Life Orb chip was the only thing that was
Hmm.
potentially
Was
scary
like
in that end
scary
game.
for the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
And then game two, you don't go for the rage powder, right?
No, I was gunning
Was
for Spore.
was he Goggles Arcanine?
He was, and he
And
was also
he's still doubled into the Amoonguss?
He was Terra Fire on the King Gambit with Terra Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Um I think that my play was overall just super safe there. Terra Fire plus Iron Defense. I was faster
Yeah.
than the Gambit. And like I understand the position in doubling the Amoonguss because you don't want to get spored. Um
True.
your King Gambit getting spored there is just like that really is kind of just GG's. Um so it was a good play on his part. The part that threw me was that he terra'd the King Gambit to Terrafire in front of the Tinglu and the Orthworm combo. Um
Yeah.
Listening to the commentators back, I kind of understand what he was going for, thinking, hey, I can Terra Fire here, survive the body press, hopefully get off, my Iron Head or Assurance into the Orthworm or something, and try to deal with it that way. But yeah, like just going for the Iron Defense for the second time felt like a really just safe play in front of that lead. Like they really the most he was doing was gonna assurance me, and I still had my citrus berry intact. I was full HP. I really wasn't feeling, and I was at +2 defense at that point, so I really wasn't feeling threatened by what was on the field. Um, and I just kind of took it, and I knew at plus at after 2 iron defenses I was in a really good position to handle whatever else he had in the end game, including the Dragonite, which the Orthworm ended up soloing, which was awesome. I was really afraid of getting critical hit. Like my luck leading up to that point had been pretty not great for the most of the tournament. Like I was getting flinched by Waterfall all tournament long, all tournament,
So
and
many Gyarados.
yeah, yeah, and it really felt like the critical hit was gonna come there, and it didn't, and I was really grateful that it didn't. I felt like I felt like I played that end game so perfectly, and to lose it would have been really bad, and he would have gained a lot of momentum leading into that third game.
Man, just looking at his team, especially like after game one, I don't see how he doesn't bring Bundle. Like, it lines up so well against everything, essentially.
Yeah, and Adam and Rosemary both also kind of pointed that out.
They
With
were talking
great
about it in
game.
team preview. They're just like, man, Bundle looks so good here.
Yeah, and
And then to not even like see it, I'm just like, man, how do you plan on beating this Iron Defense worm if it ever gets one off? If you bring,
yeah,
if you bring four physical attackers.
it it like Bundle is a little, it's very good into my team, but it also, it's a little weird. Um, its frailty kind of plays against it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Terra Ice.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had the Amoongus on the field, body press was just guaranteed a lot of damage, and Garg also really threatens it as well.
That was my
Um,
point on it. It's like Salt Cure into that Pokemon just eats it alive.
it does close to like 30% straight up, and then
You have the chip
it's
on top of that.
You're
25%.
25% chip.
I
How
just hope
much
the
how
stats are
much
carried.
does Hydro Pump do into Garg if you're not Terra?
If I'm not Terra, it probably KOs. But I don't know off the top of my head. I could check. I'll calculate quick. But yeah, with the Terra, it's if I'm bringing the Garg, I typically do Terra hit. But
That's very fair.
Exactly. Like you almost tear that thing every time it comes out. It's almost a must.
And that was something
actually,
that.
I would have very very easily survived it
Yeah.
Oh,
if I'm
really? Okay.
yeah, it's 72 to 85 from max special attack bundle into non-Terra
Ooh.
Garg.
And then you pivot into
Oh,
Tinglu, and you can maybe
Yeah,
even eat a second one after that.
yeah,
man,
and
I was expecting more, but
it
just what I
Garg
know.
Garg is just so bulky.
Yeah.
It's
It
so
really,
dumb, man.
for the
It's
entirety of the tournament, it really was just like I don't think I clicked recover like more than twice or three times on it though. The entirety of the tournament. I'm not even kidding. It was the weirdest anomaly of Garg playing I've ever seen. It was like it went in there, it clicked Sulkier, it clicked Bulldoze a couple times, and
how
like
good was Bulldoze?
in the matchups that I clicked it was amazing. It actually won me. It won me a couple of matchup. It won me a matchup early on. It was like my round 3 or 4 opponent. They afterwards they were like, yeah, that bulldoze on Garg. I just had no way to answer it. It wasn't as much an Orthworm thing as it was a Flutter main thing with the bulldoze.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's more or less for the Flutter main Chiyu matchups.
Trying to
Mhm.
lower their speed so you can outspeed them maybe later.
Exactly, and you get like a nice bit of chunk damage off into both of them. Um, and it's enough to where pretty much either or, if I click Moonblast into your Chiyu, or if I click Moonblast / Shadow Ball into your Flutter main, it's gonna pick up the KO, or you're gonna have to Terra away from your type to take this a little bit better. Um, and yeah, I didn't click Bulldoze a ton. Garg's main job was get Salt Cure on something, pressure it to switch out, and then like be a nice endgame option, or sometimes just be like a nice sacrificial lamb to bring in something else to get something safe in. Um, but it was really good this weekend. It was weird to not click recover all that much though, because I feel like
I I can understand.
I
Mm-hmm.
ha- I play a lot of end games towards Garg sometimes, and I really didn't play any. It was mostly towards Flutter Main, Dragonite or Tinglu endings and end games, and yeah, those three in the back are just really threatening. And then you pair like Orthworm or the Salkir chip onto it, and it's just over time it just adds up. So that was kind of Garg's main job, with the team, and it really did well. Very proud of it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, should we talk about the actual tournament or more about the team? What do you want to talk about here, Jay? You're the
Uh,
man who knows things.
Yeah,
I,
clearly.
I mean, I guess I don't know. This is your podcast. It's weird for you guys to be dishing out your ideas to your guests, but
So there's a couple things we could do. We could go over like actual data from the tournament, or we can just talk about like your tournament in particular. What would you prefer?
we can do a little bit of both. I
Okay.
think
Let's say we
there's
have we
a
have
lot to
data
gain.
here
Art,
from top
Hartford.
pairings and top teams and all those good stuff.
yeah.
Um,
My matchup notes are non-existent, so it's basically going to be my memory. Uh,
who needs notes?
not me. I took 0 notes and ended 10-4 this weekend, so that was cool. um, Also, shout out to Yan Okan for 11 and 3ing and just bubbling out of top 8. 15th place.
Yep.
Yeah, Ian is a monster.
Yeah.
What
Unfortunately, we
is
paired round 14, final
Last,
round
the
of the
last
rotate.
one,
Yeah.
the one that mattered.
I was looking earlier. Did Hush and Ian play on in day one?
Yes, they did, and
Yep.
Hush took the set off Ian. So Hush is holding
Hush,
it over
Hush
his
was the
head a little
dream
bit.
breaker.
Yeah, he was.
So what you're saying is we know why we didn't have representation in top 8, and
Yes,
it's
everyone
all Hush's fault.
blamed
Got it.
Hush.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
They,
no,
it,
it
it
was.
would it would be it wouldn't be a event where we do well where all of our LRL guys just play each other.
Which is
But
just so funny,
it was
man.
so funny too because they figured out that they were each other when Ian loaded in and saw that his name was Hush on the like thing on the Switch. He was like, wait a second. And then
Insert
afterwards,
Spider-Man pointing meme here. It's like, wait a minute.
I was in the middle of getting a team checked at this point. Hush comes over to me. He's like, "Yo, Yan Okan's here." I'm like, "No way! He beats me every single time we play, but I still gotta meet him." And so I went over, and he like pointed out like in the general direction, and I went over and tapped this guy on the shoulder, and I was like, "Yo, what's up, man? I'm Jay." And he's like, and Hush comes up to me. He's like, "That's not Yan." I'm like,
Just some
I'm so
random
sorry,
guy.
dude. I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's so nice to meet you.
Gosh.
Nice.
It was
Oh
really
my
funny.
gosh, it's
Um,
so funny.
Yeah, the tournament was a great time. I hung out with Yan and Hush for pretty much the whole time. We were our little support group this time. Um,
I
and
know Hush was talking in the RTT server where his job for day 2 was cheerleader. It's
Mhm.
like absolutely, man. Love it.
yeah.
We have been doing nothing but the same and just, just I can't even tell you how many messages, how many notifications you came back to over the last 2 days.
A lot.
It was a lot. I came to the tournament. You know, he messaged in the chat and he was like, "Hey, what are your goals for this weekend?" And I'm like, "Bro, I just want to play 9 rounds this weekend. Like, that's why I'm going in." I told in my interview I said the same thing. I was like, I just wanted to play 9 rounds. I was like, after we 2-3 drop Knoxville, I was like, oh man. I was like, I got to do better. I was like, I just got to play, man. I just got to go through and play. And you know,
The my favorite part of your interview, she asked you, why did you play Orthworm? And you go, he's a funny looking guy.
I- he's just a funny guy. Like he is. I love the worm. He's just a funny guy, and he's a good medical right now. Like you know, he's doing well in
Unironically a
Yeah.
good pick.
he's
While
doing
also
well in
just
all
being
these tours right
absolutely
now.
hilarious.
He's doing well in these tours for a reason. You know, it counters Tinglu. It's a one shots Flutter main. the iron defense body press stuff is really really tough to deal with if you don't bring the right options to deal with it. And yeah, it's a good great tusk counter too. Surprisingly, the close combats still do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them are in sun, so they do like a little bit extra. But the calcs aren't too bad when it comes to it. And after an iron defense and like earthquake healing, it's helpful. But the team definitely struggles with like fighting types. I struggled with swords dance, iron hands. Two of my four losses came against that.
Oof.
About to say,
Uh,
Iron
I know you had
Hands.
mentioned one.
yeah, swords dance, safety goggles, iron hands, and then in the second loss, it was actually paired with nasty plot golden go to the top four team, Dom Dom
Dominique Johnson.
Dominique Johnson. Yeah, he just introduced himself as Dom to me, so I didn't want to screw up
Gotcha.
his name. But yeah, that team
Gotcha.
was really cool. He kind of brought it was like Grim Snarl, Golden Go, Amoongus, and Iron Hands every game, and just leveraged the Amoongus against me really well. And then the other one was to Eric Stewart, fourth place. So the two top four players with swords, dance, safety goggles, Iron Hands. Um, yeah, and they both got some really good reads. I got some pretty poor luck against Dominique if I remembered uh right. I think I got like a couple 3-turn sleeps which stunk.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like a lot of not playing in the game. But I think I played well against both of them. They were really really tough matchups for the team. Like the safety goggles, swords dance, iron hands is just like it doesn't. There's not a lot of ways to deal with that um consistently. You can do Orthworm stuff,
Yeah.
but like you're kind of stacking iron defenses while they're stacking swords dances, and then at some point, like their drain punches are just doing enough to keep them healed up.
Yep.
Um, and the rest of the team does definitely have a fighting weakness. I know I sent in the group chat a long like list right before the tournament of like, oh my gosh, I have these problems on this team. I need to change all of this stuff. Like this needs to stop. And when I can't redirect the fighting type moves into my Amoongus, it's like specifically really bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Luckily, you also do have an immunity here in Fluttermane as well. So like,
yeah, but
make a good read, pick up a KO, and then like the problem's gone. Or, be lucky.
Yeah, just be
they
lucky.
were they were both Terrafire.
Awesome.
So there's like no way that you can pick up a KO in time. In a lot of instances, um, it's just a tough matchup that I think as I progress with the team, I probably need to figure out a little bit better. Um, Whatever that is, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, two of my losses being to that is a clear sign of maybe this is a little bit of a problem for this team.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but like also at the same time, like how much are you anticipating playing against Iron Hands? And then you look at the top cut data, and there's like 6 of
I'm
them in
about to
top eight.
say, there's 6 of them in
Yeah,
top 8.
it was not really like super on my radar. And I know when Sierra was talking to me, she asked me if there was like anything that blindsided me, and I was like, not really. That one didn't come to mind for some reason. It did a little bit. I think I was too shooken up from the win. I was trying to be too cool.
Gotta
I
be
mean,
cool.
to be
Just
fair, I understand.
just wanted to live in that moment, not live in my losses, live in the victory of the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was definitely an issue. And when you paired that with Amoongus as well, it became a big problem. And it was something that wasn't on my radar and really picked up. So yeah, I was really impressed by its showing this weekend.
Yeah, it's dude, it's not something I would anticipate playing against a lot. And then, it had a very good weekend with what seems like basically out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I
I
and
think
I think, that this is like a true transition of where the format was going.
Mm-hmm.
hmm I think it makes sense with Iron
Hmm.
Hands. It's bulky, you can set up. it's very hard to remove, and with the Terrifier, you can't burn it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I know
it
for Knoxville, that was something I did a lot of prep work with was Iron Hands,
Mm-hmm.
and then Fluttermane became really popular. And just like, man, I am trying to devote way too much into trying to make this work, and
yeah,
having a Fluttermane problem is not great, and I feel like that's going to be something that's going to become popular. And then
And then
here we are at 70% representation.
yeah,
yeah,
and now it's super popular, and it's funny because like we look at Hartford stats and all that stuff, and it's just like, oh look, it's pretty much Amoonguss, Fluttermane, Arcanine, all that stuff. If you go and look at the Malmo stuff, it's all like Chi-Yu, Gyarados.
Well, dude,
It's
what's
all of
crazy
it.
is, Palafin didn't make top 8 Pokemon this week. Whereas Chi-Yu did. Like, what?
yeah.
Like, not only did Chi-Yu, but also Gyarados, which you were saying, it kind of had a good weekend together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fighting types have a really good place in the format. There's all the dark types. I mean, you look at the top 8 usage, and one, two, three, four, five of them hands hit super effectively.
Mm-hmm.
With one of its stabs. Um, the big difference with these hands is the Terra type is now, instead of, a lot of them used to run Terra Grass to get around Amoonguss,
Mm-hmm.
they're now running Terra Fire to get around Will-O-Wisp, to get around their Fluttermane Moonblast weakness, and they're also running the safety goggles with the Swords Dance. So it's like, you can intimidate it. Whatever. I'm a Swords Dance. I'm gonna be at +1. You can't burn me now. How are you gonna deal with this?
Exactly.
And they're dropping Fake Out as well. A lot of them are running Detect, Swords Dance, Wild Charge, Close Combat, or Thunder Punch, Drain Punch. Um, and that makes the matchup even tougher because you can't just like double into it right away. It can protect and let something else set up. And also, I know in my first matchup, I didn't read my team sheet clearly enough, and in the turn one, I didn't see that it was fake. It was no Fake Out hands, and it was actually um Detect hands instead.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the meta is moving definitely in like the extremely bulky direction right now. Um, I think that the more bulk you have, the better. Um, and there's like a lot of hyper offensive stuff running around. The Chien-Pao Dragonite, the Fluttermane Chi-Yu, the Gyarados Chi-Yu. Um, that bulk that Iron Hands has, especially on the physical side, uh, is just so dangerous, and it makes it really hard to remove.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going through and I'm looking at these Gyarados sets. I'm trying to see like what's all different between them. They're all like Thunderwave, Taunt, Terra, Steel with Waterfall as their main damage move, and then some have Protect, some have Iron Head, some have other random move. It's interesting, just like Gyarados is now becoming probably the premier intimidator in this format, and Arcanine's kind of going away because Ting Lu is so popular.
Yeah, I could see like, I don't know. I don't think Arcanine's really gonna go anywhere.
I mean,
Um,
I think,
as
yeah,
much as it's
like
gonna just
Arcanine is
adapt.
still very good.
But yeah, like right now, Gyarados has some good matchups into a lot of things. It's good into Chi-Yu, it's good into Arcanine, it's good into Tinglu. Um, and yeah, like you said, they're running a lot of Taunt, Thunder Wave. They become really consistent Amoonguss checks that don't rely on you know, not Terra watering your Amoonguss like Arcanine does.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and into Palance, like, what's hitting Gyarados with, for meaningful damage? It's like Fluttermane.
Like that's
Uh,
it. And then if they Terra in front
Yeah,
of you, you're
Ter-
just like,
it's Fluttermane.
Fluttermane and like Terra Water Wave Crash at -1, like from Palafin is probably doing like a chunk, but like not a lot. Um, it's I think calling the meta from where it was is why like Gyarados is super on the rise, and where it's at, I definitely think Gyarados is in a good place. But with like Iron Hands and stuff on the rise, I could definitely see Arcanine just maintaining its spot. I'm not surprised to see I am, but I'm also not surprised to see Palafin on the top 8 as well. I only saw I think one Palafin the entire weekend.
Looking
What
through
what
top
gets me
16, there's only one Palafin in top 16.
so looking at the top 8, there's 3 different water types in the top 4, and there's no Palafin at all.
I
Like
know I played.
there's an Azumarill, and there's no Palafin.
I played one rain team this weekend, and I was like, bro, you're not running Palafin, and he was like, yeah, like I'd rather Swift Swim on Dreadnought and like Intimidate on Tauros Aqua. And I was like, all right.
Absolutely.
I'm like, you're a braver man than me, but like,
Sure.
um,
Seems kind of brave to play multiple water types like that in a
it
format with multiple Iron Hands and Top Cuts.
it was brave, and it was even braver to see him in game. I can't remember if the set only went 2 or 3, if it went 2 games or if it went 3 games. But in the final game of the set, he brought 3 water types against my team, and I was like, I mean,
You
like
got it.
this can do like a lot of damage, but I can just like worm it.
Mm-hmm.
I can just worm out here and set up some iron defenses, and it's like, what are you doing now? Like Terra Water my Ting Lu. Yeah, all right.
So, I believe it was after your match on stream, they were talking about the commentators were talking about the various ruinous Pokemon and how what kind of impact they've had on the format. And we've seen a lot of Chien Pao, we see Ting Lu, we see Chi Yu had a really popular weekend this weekend, and they go one of them goes, yeah, but what about Wo Chien?
Wo Chien did it.
And
Kyle Livinghouse.
the other
Yeah.
commentator just, what about Wo Chien? And I'm just like,
I'm gonna just be straight up with you on that one. Player diff.
It
That's
has
all
to
there
be.
was
That
to
has
it.
to be all
It
there
was
is.
it was player diff. That was it. Like that's Kyle Livinghouse. Like
Yeah.
he top cut Secaucus with freaking with he was Alcremie guy, right? Him and
yes,
Alex Underhill. They
I
did
think
that together.
so. Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I have Twitter
the
open still.
the Wobble Fet. I think that they built together, if I remember correctly, and ran like the Alchemy, Calyrex, Palkia stuff at Secaucus.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, I mean, if there was a player to bring it, I think
Yeah.
Kyle Livinghouse is one of those
And
players.
like looking at the rest of the team, there's a Chi Yu, a Fluttermane, a Glamora, Iron Hands. Like this team is very just like all in your face, and then there's Wo Chien just tagged along for the ride.
Yeah, it's probably like just like, all right, Chi Yu and Fluttermane, Chi Yu, Glamora, just nuke your team, and then all right, how you doing with my Wo Chien Iron Hands in the back?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I took out all of your Pokemon. Here's Wo Chien.
Carter, any luck if I was right or wrong?
He is
okay.
digging hard.
I am digging so hard. Okay. I'm on Kyle's page.
Okay, that's a start.
How long ago was Secaucus?
It was last year.
It's last year.
No.
All right, we'll do that.
Kyle Livinghouse did not bring that team, so I was incorrect. Sorry.
See, I don't know why you asked me if you have the answer.
It was Justin Burns.
Yeah, it was
the other
Burns.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kyle Livinghouse is just like great player,
Very strong player.
consistent player.
Very good mechanically wise. Has very good decision making.
Yeah.
Can probably bring a wet paper bag and beat most people.
Look, man, those things are terrifying.
Yeah, it was. I think that one was player diff for sure.
It
But the
just,
team,
oh
the
man,
team
it
is
made me
really
laugh
cool.
so hard because as soon as she asked, "What about Wo Chien?" my first thought is, "What about it?" And then the commentator just, "What about Wo Chien?" Just like
Yeah,
completely defeated.
it's it's just not good. Um, I've played against quite a few like the Wochien stall teams.
Hmm.
I very rarely ever lose to them. Like they just I don't know what it is.
There's
Like
a reason, man. Like you
it's
said, they're
It's
not
just
very
just
good.
not. It just doesn't do enough.
yeah, and like lowering the attack. Like all right, here's Flutter Mane, have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna Terra Poison. You're still gonna take like 30% from my Moonblast, and I'm just gonna Shadow Ball you next turn. And oh,
Yep.
there's your Wochien. What'd you do? You leech seeded me? Okay, I'm gonna switch out.
So it,
Also, just Amoonguss just like destroys
oh,
you.
it eats it alive. Pollen
Yeah.
Puff from Amoonguss just eats into that thing so bad. So
And then you
like
Terra Poison, and I can put you to sleep now.
trying to think about how like Wochien affect like plays in the meta and whatnot. Like Chi-Yu lower special defense, Tinglu lower special attack, Chien-Pao lowers defense. Those are things we don't normally get access to in terms of abilities. Lowering attack, we have Intimidate. We don't need
Yeah.
Wo-Chien to do anything, especially if it's got Grass Dark typing. You have Arcanine, Gyarados, half a dozen other Intimidators if you really wanted to get like exploring into all that. And so
Squawkabilly.
exactly, and just like look at Wo-Chien, Dark Grass, terrible typing. Like at that point, just play a Mungus on your team and slap an Intimidator next to it, and you're gonna be better off.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, I respect people trying to play with it.
Yeah.
It's a tough mon to fit on teams. I've tried a couple times. It just hasn't worked out
There's
for
a
me.
reason it's everybody's like favorite Pokemon. There's a reason there's memes all over the internet for it.
Live Wochien
Because it's
reaction.
meme worthy, not because it's good.
That's the thing. People don't like good Pokemon. People like the fun Pokemon, the memes and all that jazz.
Okay, but there's exceptions to the rule, such as the fun little guy, Orthworm. Okay, there is. I literally got invited to a cult of Earthworm fanatics recently.
Was it Bruno?
Yeah,
Of course it
I
was.
saw I
of
saw
course it was
him I
Bruno.
saw him post on, I think it was today. He said something along the lines of, "I need to start a cult for the Orthworm players." And
Well, he did, baby. Let's go.
I posted in our group chat. I said I need someone to take the Cult of the Lamb like cover, change it to Orthworm, and
You
change
know,
Lamb to Worm.
I literally was doing that. I was in the process.
Yes!
Look, literally right here. Here it is.
He's got it.
I literally posted. I'm like, I'm at work. I can't do this. I need someone
I
who's better at this to
I
do it.
did. I didn't see your message either. I got home and I
So
was like,
funny.
I was sitting there. He said something about it being a cult, and I was like, I was gonna send it in there.
That's so freaking funny.
That is so funny. Great minds, man. Just. Oh man.
Oh, so where do we go from here? I think that was.
We covered pretty much everything we wanted to talk about. Unless you want to look at more in-depth Hartford stats.
I'm say at this point, I'm just kind of scrolling through top 32, top 64, and just looking for interesting stuff. There's a Lycanroc here in top 32.
I'm looking
Yeah,
at
there was
the
some
Lab
guitar stuff
Mouse
running around.
breakdown that Tim put together for us.
See, this is Ryan Rickenbacker, Gyarados Indeedee, Annihilate, T-Tar, Lycanroc, Armor Rouge.
That's a
This
mouthful.
is
Yeah.
this is a team.
Did you
We're
know?
Thunder Punch Annihilate so we can beat Gyarados.
Did you know there's an Iron Thorns in top 64?
They got on stream day one.
Yeah.
Did it?
Guzman? Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I remember seeing it. I was in the middle of a match and somebody they started popping off over at the stage area, and I turned around and I just saw Iron Hands on the screen. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So This it's got Gyarados and Screamtail and Iron Thorns and Wo-Chien. It is a
Where is this at?
top 64.
Player
Juan
name?
Guzman.
There it is.
Oh,
yeah.
this is
it-
some
This is
Oh, that is-
spice.
This is spice.
dude. This is pure. They need to get back in the kitchen, man. They are cooking.
They day two top 64 with that. So
There's also an
Respect.
Iron Tread somewhere.
there?
Yeah, Dreads was top 128. I know.
Yeah, with the Rotom and the Glamora.
Because we were talking about it before. Yeah, this is where to go. This is
Oh, I found it.
Scott
Casotis.
Scoridus. I'm so sorry. Please don't yell at me.
Yell at him all you want, guys.
Yeah, Rotom
Dude,
Wash,
cool.
Dragonite, Chien Pao, Arcanine, Iron Treads, Glamora.
I like
This
it.
is cool.
It's a
This
cool
is
team.
cool. Jay, it
Yeah.
has Earthquake, Iron Treads, so you need to pair this with your worm.
Listen, I've been playing with Iron Treads in the multi-battle conference this season. We have it on our team. It has been more than underwhelming.
I was about to say, it is not a Pokemon that I think does very well.
Not even in draft when we know what we're playing against. It hasn't it just
man.
its damage output is really bad. Like really, really bad.
Make a note, Carter. We're going to put Iron Treads probably pretty low in the tier list.
You are not wrong. Man, worst part is I was looking, I'm like, man, Iron Jugulis is probably like B tier, and then I started looking, I'm like, man, this thing is so terrible.
Jugulus in a draft format actually is probably pretty decent.
And that's why I'm like,
Jugulis
I
is
mean,
cool. It's got a lot of unique tools.
It's also like
And,
a strong typing, dark and flying. It's literally just Yveltal. But
It's got good stats too. It's it's got the paradox stats. and
Yeah.
it's got good distribution in good places. It's just like like it's in a meta with Fluttermane, and that makes its job like
10
a little
times
bit
harder.
difficult. Just a little bit difficult. Yeah, this meta was really all over the place. Like I don't think I faced two of it like any team. I don't think I played a team like the same team twice.
like
didn't you play the same person twice?
Oh yes, I did. I did play the same person twice.
I don't think that counts though. It's like it's the same
I'm
person.
counting it.
It's the same person.
Listen, I'm gonna send you guys the paste of of his team. Super cool guy, super cool team. Mad respect. We played around game 2. I think it was I think it was him who told me that my bulldoze tech was really good against him. 'cause
Yeah,
it let
this is
my-
the Ice Sandy Shocks team. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this
Ice
is the thing
Sandy
that
Shocks
made me
team.
hurt inside because it's Terra Ice
Carl
Sandy Shocks.
cringed. Carl
It ended up-
physically cringed when you told him that.
It
I
ended
wasn't
up like
with him, but I know he did.
in in our first set he used it against my team because like Dragonite was a really good answer to pretty much everything on his squad. Like get a Shed Tail up, get Dragonite in, set up some Dragon Dances, and take some KOs. He didn't bring it in our set today. It went to 3 games today. I managed to squeak it out, so I went 2-0 against him. But yeah, the team was really cool. It was different, and like Meowscarada's speed tiers were weird because I thought my Fluttermane would outspeed, but I forgot Meowscarada gets 192. And mine's just slightly slower than that. So it ended
Oof.
up like
Yeah.
the Bulldoze Garg ended up becoming very important to force it out, force switches, break sash. They also had flame charge on Tauros, which was like really cool tech. Start you get one off, you Terrafire, you get one
Mhm.
off, and you're now faster than Fluttermane.
Yeah.
But Bulldoze was really helpful with that too.
And this
And this
team
was-
on paper he's cooking, man. That is the simplest way to put it.
Yeah.
And it was the waterfall flinch Gyarados. It's waterfall Ironhead Thunderwave. It's just like it's basically like
Paraflinch, it's gonna get you.
sheer for. It's a freaking the Dunsparce in the Gyarados form.
Just get
As
him.
a person who's played with the Dunsparce, it's not. It's better.
It's better than the Dunsparce.
You also played against the Dunsparce.
Look, you're not incorrect. And I would be lying if I said that wasn't the reason I took it for RTP.
I saw you pick it round one, and I was like, I see the vision. I know where he's at right now. He's living in that round 2 or 3 Knoxville matchup right now.
He's lived rent free in my head for months. What's the quote from Spider-Man? Just every time I close my eyes, I see him.
Just the Dunsparce using Rock Slide.
It was so terrifying. My
Dumb
poor
minds.
monkey. My poor monkey had no shot in that game.
Never a chance.
Can't even Rage Fist.
Not from a lack of trying, man.
Knoxville wasn't our time. All right, we were still too fresh out of the oven. It took a bit of cooking.
It was okay. I liked my team quite a bit. In all actuality, I really did like my team.
I think my team was overbaked. I think I made too many changes, and it just didn't work out. That's why I was really happy with this run when I was like, I'm just gonna change Bulldoze on Garg, and like that's kind of gonna be
Like
it.
you had done your work already, and then
Yes.
that's the big thing is like when you've started your process of playing with it, you're not really allowed to change anything else. As much as we say, it's just like, oh, you can make changes the day before and do all that stuff. It's not smart to do all that kind of stuff.
No.
It's better to just kind of, like you said, minor tweaks like the Bulldoze or maybe putting a Protect on something or something like that. So
Yeah, I appreciate all the guys for talking me out of making any changes. I know you, Bauer Dad, and Ro all kind of came in. We're like, yeah, maybe don't. Like,
just leave it alone. It'll be fine.
You'll do all right, man. Just do your best.
I'm pretty sure our immediate thought was like, I'm pretty sure all of us said that seems like a good idea. You should probably do that if you think it's going to be better for your matchups. Because you're talking about playing Bulldoze over Fisher, right?
Yeah, but I was talking more about a couple days ago. I was like, I'm dropping a Moongus.
Yeah,
for
he was
something else.
hard on trying to do a bunch of big changes, and we're just like,
I
no.
was losing my mind. No, the Bulldoze on Garg wasn't a hard convince. Like I was sitting literally. Okay, the vision came to me and like really like kind of like divine type of way almost. I was sitting there. I was looking out the window. There was like a baseball game like over in the stadium I could see over to the left. Like all the lights were on in Hartford, and I was kind of just looking out my like 9th-story window in the hotel. And I was literally crouched down to the bottom, just like sitting there, hands and head. And I was just like thinking about matchups and how to beat Chiyu Fluttermane and like, which ways to approach different things. And I was like, doesn't Bulldoze on Garganackle just like fix all of my issues and also benefit the worm? I was like,
I mean, let's be realistic. The worm was the real benefit, and like fixing the matchups like just gravy, right?
It was exactly.
It's funny when you go and think about it. Like you came to that conclusion. That's why they were playing Bulldoze on the Gyarados on those Orthworm teams. It's for that matchup specifically. It's just like Bulldoze is to check the Chi-Yu Fluttermane because you can Terra Steel your Gyarados and just you threaten Chi-Yu. Fluttermane can't hit you, but you get to carry Bulldoze and you can hit both of them and slow them down, and then you got speed and do all that jazz.
Yeah, when I was practicing, I played a couple of games with the Kutesh team, and I played quite a bit with Gyarados on the team as well in the Amoonguss slot. I never I don't think it ever really clicked in my head that I don't know if it was for a lack of practice against or the matchup or just not really thinking about it too much, but I never really thought about using it in that way to try to benefit that matchup. Um and so, that clicking moment was kind of cool. It happens sometimes, and to see it did, help me a lot to win one of my earlier rounds. It wasn't super beneficial, but up to that point, Fissure and Wide Guard on it also haven't been super beneficial.
Hmm.
Um, so it was I got a round win out of it, so I think that was good. There was points where I was like, man, I really miss Wide Guard right here. Or I was like, man, I really miss Fissure so I could just try to take out this Amoonguss or this Iron Hands
Just
or something. But
blow it up.
I liked that I had to play, and not
Hmm.
rely on rolling dice. Um, it gave me a lot of different options, and I definitely think that in the long run, the bulldoze on the guard was a really cool call. Uh, and I think it definitely helped a lot.
So I think I found the most unique team from this tournament that got published.
I mean, the one that Iron Thorns won, right? That was just the craziest one.
Oh no.
What do you got now?
Oh, my dear friend, do I have something better than Iron Thorns? Have you considered not only Wo Chien, but also Toxapex?
Oh my goodness.
And you're running Fissure, Payback, Ting-Lu. Okay, so listen. I don't think I played this player, but I played some variation of this team in my practice on Showdown at some point. I played this Toxapex, Wochien, Ting-Lu stall team. It was so No, it was the Toxapex Garg team that I played against. That I was so mad about afterwards because Showdown timer sucks.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Oh,
I
this
was at
looks
5 second turn
atrocious.
time. Yeah, no, this team is a lot.
I really
Oh,
don't
Where did
see
it
a
place?
world. What top 128? So no day 2, but
yeah, 6-3.
6-3. Enough for
This
CP.
is this was Hush's team. Drop that for you guys. He was running the Murkrow Sun stuff. He had a Brute Bonnet and Pop Bomb Mousehold
I
as
did
well.
see this when I was scrolling through, and had I known Hush's name, I would have pointed it out.
Yep. Well, I'm pointing it out now. Yeah, he had a really good run. He got super unlucky in his final round for the winning in for day 2. So it happens though. It'd be like that sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I really like Mouse Old Man. He's just a funny little guy.
He's just a funny little guy. Yeah, Mousehold is it's just in a weird spot at
Dude,
the
I
moment.
I love it so much. I will never forget the first time I clicked population bomb, and then their HP just kept shrinking. Like
Oh,
it's gonna stop, right? And then it
so
just didn't. It just didn't stop.
someone, I can't remember if it was Hush or not. Hush will have to tell me afterwards. Somebody with wide lens Mousehold got one hit pop bomb,
Oof. Oof size
and then
large.
their Mousehold gets taken out as their regular was instructing into pop bomb again.
I don't know if you follow Captain Unova on Twitter. I mean on TikTok.
I
That's his
don't.
that's like his videos that he's posted. It's just like I am wide lens mousehold. How did I hit twice? Dude, it is so funny.
The
He
odds
gets
literally
so
say.
mad. Oh, it's
It's what
so funny.
99% chance to hit each one. I don't get me wrong, I'd lose my shit too.
Like justifiably angry, but
Oh, yeah.
good lord, is it funny every
I'm
time.
gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to. I didn't know
I'm
that
gonna
he
have
had
to
a
go find it
TikTok.
so I can send it to you.
I didn't know that he had TikTok. So
Let's see. He has 9 TikToks uploaded. I think 3 of them are Mousehold
Or just
variants.
Mousehold being Mousehold.
yeah, it's like I mean everyone's using it as like an annihilate procer. I think it definitely has more benefits. Like I know when I'm playing against Hold, like Mouse Ape was a matchup that I was concerned about coming into this weekend. I didn't face it at all. I don't think it's really, there's a couple in like top 32, top 64 area. Um but it really didn't have like a great showing this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Um
I'm looking at the numbers in top 128. There is literally just 2 Mouse Ape teams.
yeah, there's quite a, I know like Pengy ran a solo mouse, Hush ran solo mouse. There's Jeremy Gross. Oh, he's running the same team as Hush. They had a whole big team building group.
Mm-hmm.
I know built together. Um, top 128. There's another. Oh no, that's a mouse ape down there. But like, yeah, it's a tough matchup to play against. But at the same time, a lot of teams have good answers to it. Whether it be just outspeed and KO the mousehold or force terra on mousehold. All right, now you're super weak to my fluttermane on your annihilate. Um, yeah, it also just like the pop bomb. Fluttermane's a thing. Can't
Exactly.
do
Like you
damage to
can't.
it.
There's never a truly safe one unless you see Fluttermane on the field already.
Yeah. In the same way that Chuppa Sacred Sword in my Orthworm into Fluttermane.
Exactly.
I am never gonna like that. That stream game is. I lost in the final round, and I'm still like riding the most intense high of like my life from that stream game. It's like
Dude, I was in the middle of Walmart, and had I not been, I would have been popping off. Had I not been literally at the front of Walmart with people surrounding me, I would have been popping off.
it was like I don't know, and like getting all of those messages afterwards, how overwhelming it was in the moment, but like how grateful I am for like all the support. I've been having a lot of self-confidence issues, especially when it comes to Pokemon, whether it be just missing out on, the first place in the invitational for Littleroot
Mm-hmm.
lessons. I missed out in a Rumble both times against Yan. Shout out my worst matchup ever.
Yeah,
Yan was
I even said it when I saw the pairing. It was just like Yan, I think, has beaten Jay every single time they played
every
against each
time.
other. It's just
Literally,
like Jay's
I said
kryptonite.
I introduced it myself. I go, "Hey, I'm Jay. You're the bane of my existence. Like you beat me every single time." And when we finished our round 14 set, I was like, "Good luck, have fun." I was like, "GG's. You continue to be the bane of my existence." He's like, "I really don't want to be called that. Like we're supposed to be friends now, man." Like it
Like,
was.
look, you
That
did
happens.
this
It
to
happens.
me,
It's
not the
fine.
other way around.
Yeah, I was really pulling for him to get the top 8. I was gonna stay if he did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was the going in and playing as well as I did for the entirety of it. My round 9 match was winning in. It came down to me basically either extreme speeding a very low King Gambit, or clicking Earthquake and having them sucker punch with a helping hand, which would have KO'd. And in the moment, I should have clicked extreme speed, but I clicked Earthquake instead. I was like calking in my head, but I forgot about multi-scale on Dragonite. So
Uh-huh.
the helping hand sucker punch would have KO'd, but they didn't go for it, and the Earthquake went off, and it was really good. The extreme speed should have always been the play, though. I
Mm-hmm.
think it always picks up. In the moment I clicked the button, and I was like, Oh no! Wait.
That's the moment where you wish you were on Showdown. You could just click cancel really fast and redo it.
Yes, I was very upset. And there was another matchup where I was like, I should have brought this. I was like, man, I really should have thought about bringing the Garg more. And then it was just like, it just didn't. And I didn't. I couldn't go back. It was sad. But yeah, I've watched the stream game, and I've watched the interview, and I'm very happy with how everything went. Also, I know back in Knoxville, when Knoxville was coming around, you guys were saying that we needed somebody from Littleroot Lessons to get on stream.
We
so that
finally
could
got
get a
it. Yeah.
shout out. And I took that fucking personally. And after that 2-3 drop, I was like, all right, man. I literally there's a song. It's called Vengeance by Denzel Curry featuring JPEG Mafia. It was and Zillakami. It was one of my favorite songs for warming up for soccer, but it had a very special meaning this time because I was coming for vengeance for my Knoxville play. And I think I think I did that. And I'm happy.
I think you did pretty okay.
I'm about to say you did pretty okay.
and I'm happy that getting on stream was like, I was really hoping for it. I saw who I pulled round 13, and they were starting the stream, and I was like,
if this
doesn't get you,
if it was gonna be a time, it was right now.
Yeah, if this doesn't get it,
how does that work? Do they just come up and be like, "Hey, you're needed up front"?
I sat down, and they came over. The judges came over, and they're kind of standing there, and they're like, "Don't set up yet." And I'm like looking at them, like, "Am I going on stream?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No way, let's go!"
Like, so excited.
Oh, yeah.
I literally pulled out my phone. I'm like texting everybody. I sent it into everything I could. I'm like, I'm going on stream. I texted my mom. I texted my friends.
Did your mom get to watch?
She was boarding on a cruise.
Well, what's more important, her vacation or her son?
But she's gonna get the Wi-Fi set up and take a watch later. I actually, my grandma is here for the week, just to kind of take care of the puppy while I'm at work and everyone's
You're being
at work
babysat. I understand.
Yes, I'm being babysat. But I was so excited, I freaking showed her. I was like, look.
That's
look
me.
At this.
It's me.
We've had a lot of those moments this week.
We have.
We haven't even talked about your thing.
Yeah, our video got clipped by Beast Coast.
And I was like, I walked past James Beck like 9 times. I was like, you had my friend's channel on your show the other day. Like, that was so cool.
The worst part is I bet he would have gone.
Who? I can guarantee you.
I don't edit those. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was his editors, but it was awesome to see you guys get some love too. Y'all deserve it. More than a lot of people. You guys always work your asses off. So happy I found you guys. Happy I got to shout you guys out today.
Same,
we appreciate it.
even if literally nothing comes of it, it was a good day.
Exactly.
It was a good day. It really was. It was a great weekend. Oh man, I'm still.
So you're gonna make that push for Worlds now, right?
I'm about to say, how much CP did you get? It was.
I have no clue.
60 for top 32, I think, is what it was. That sounds right.
Might be. I literally I don't know. I kind of was just like, I got CP. I'm happy. I made day 2. I have to go watch the stream again later. So I can one, be a little bit of a narcissist and enjoy my presence, enjoy seeing my face. But also I want to find something for my Twitter profile picture.
Gotta get the classic headset.
That's all. The only reason, right? You only want to get on stream so you can change your profile pics.
So it is 60.
It is 60.
So 60.
Yeah.
You got 60 CP. Okay. So you need is it
to win
300
NAIC? I think so. Yeah.
It's 300 to qualify. So you need to
go
top 8.
NAIC.
You just gotta go top 8. No, you don't have to win. You just have to top 8.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do that, you might as well win, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, too bad there's no registrations open anymore, and I registered.
Jay, this sounds like a personal problem.
It is. It really is. Next year, maybe. We'll see.
Man, you have no idea. We were talking about it the other day. You have no idea how badly I want one to come back to either St. Louis or Kansas
Something
City.
within driving range for us.
I don't want to drive 12 hours to go to an event next
I
year.
still can't believe you drove 12 hours. And Carl, I know you drove. What is it? Like 8?
We
to
drove.
Indy?
It was
Yeah.
9 to Indy. Yeah.
Whew. Yeah, the 4.5, 5 on the way home was enough for me. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I hope that like with vacation and stuff and like living in the Northeast, it's pretty. It's like relatively doable for me to do like 2 or maybe 3 tournaments in a year. So like, you know, I have confidence right now, but it's just gonna take another like 4, 5 or something for me to be like, yeah, all right, we're just comfortable being, slightly above average or something. It would be great to make worlds, but adulting is tough to make all those
I feel
travels.
That's the
around.
kicker this time around too. It's like it's in Japan. You have to like
Yeah.
you'd have to travel for like be gone at least a week and a half, if not 2 weeks, and that's a lot for some people.
It is.
A lot.
Just quit your job, I guess.
I guess that's kind of
Yeah,
that's
I
kind
mean,
of
you
the
don't need
realm.
to work.
You're internet
Just-
famous now. You don't have to work anymore,
Just win worlds, right? Like you'll win a couple $1,000. It's enough to hold you over for the rest of your life.
right? It's the internet fame that comes with that. That comes with that's the important kicker.
Yes, exactly.
What Carter? You're making faces.
Yeah,
I'm questioning Jay's thought process of a couple $1,000 will make you last a while.
I mean, it's in Japan.
What is? Hold on, I had to go do a conversion.
Or listen,
USD to yen.
or you can miss out on prizing by like 3 places and get a cool T-shirt.
Yeah.
Got a free T-shirt out of the deal. I don't
did.
understand
It's
why
so
you're complaining.
cool. I know. So I think I told you before we started recording, but they were like, "Hey, like, do you want a T-shirt to cover your logo?" And I was like, "I kind of like want to wear what I'm wearing a little." And Chapo looked at me and he's like, "Bro, take the T-shirt." And I'm like, "You're right, man. I'm gonna take the T-shirt."
Yeah, just take the T-shirt. If they offer you merch, you just take it. That's 100% just the
Yeah.
plan.
So
Like, can I
yeah.
have the shirt but not wear it? Is that an option?
They were like, "Yeah, you have to win to keep it." And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're just kidding."
Like,
I'm like, "Bro, do you see who I'm playing? Like, can you
can
calm down?"
we talk about this? Like,
I'm not gonna lie. When they went and cut to commercial after your win, I'm just like, they didn't plan for Jay to win, so they're not gonna do an interview. We're gonna be so sad if you didn't get your interview.
I was very happy I did. It was unfortunately TCG was in like the normal area that they do it. They call it, I don't know what they call it, but like
The caster lounge or
area-
whatever.
the back
area
room or
0 or the lounge or something. Yeah, so we had to do it in like at the casting desk, which was different.
I'm about to say it was the one. I think it was the one time they did it at the caster desk, so it was a little bit
Yeah,
awkward. You could see it, but
Yeah, and so like now Mateo over in UDL RT is complaining because I'm wearing a red shirt in front of red stuff, and I now have an emoji made of me on screen in the chat.
just
So
all
Did
red.
you finger guns?
did I?
I don't know. Why is the emote called J Guns? Are you finger gunning?
Oh, I think after I won, I pointed. Oh no, I pointed to the camera leading up to it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think I was just pointing. I might be finger gunning. Who knows?
All right. So next time you get on camera after you win, we need finger guns.
Every time.
Every time.
Every
Every time now. I'm gonna take a look around quick before my computer dies on me to see if I can find my charger quick.
That's fine.
'Cause
Carter,
I
you went all blurry on me.
What do you mean I went blurry? I haven't done anything.
You moved.
I like scrambled
I
unpacking
haven't moved.
and now my computer's on 10% charge. So we forgot the charger, it seems.
Uh-oh.
You don't need that.
Forgot to unpack it.
Well, then we can just
Um,
wrap this up real fast.
Yeah.
We're
I think
at our
this is
limit, so.
We got to talk about everything. I got to.
I think this is a
You've
natural.
heard enough of
conclusion.
me.
Yeah.
None of this is getting cut.
No,
so-
yeah, no. This is all just gonna be mushed together.
I know. It's the way things are, and it's fun.
Especially
We
when
love-
we
we
do
love
we
one
do these
take.
Sunday night ones. I'm just like, it's 9:30.
It's good.
Throw it
I'm
up.
tired. Like, I don't even cut things anymore. Just go.
I do it the same way whenever I upload from Twitch. I just like pull my Twitch streams. I'm like, yeah, here you go.
It'll be fine. It is, as the kids say, good enough. All
Yeah.
right, so are we getting out?
Yeah,
of here?
we're
Are we
getting
going
outta
home?
here.
Am I going to bed?
Yep.
All right, Jay. Seriously, my dude, congrats on your fantastic weekend. Where can the people find you? You know, the #1 Orthworm player in the world. Not just North America, the world.
No,
I'm about to say.
definitely not.
There's some
I
competition.
think y'all are going way too far with North America too.
I mean, you currently have the highest placed Orthworm.
I'll take it. I'll take it until there's another one to surpass me. I guess that's me. I'll fill the throne, the worm throne. Y'all,
That's
you
a
can find me.
terrifying thought.
You can find me on Twitter at jmcg10. I stream sometimes at jmcg1010. Don't get them confused.
1010.
You'll find the wrong ones. 1010 for the Twitch. Yeah, just thank you guys so much for having me on. I'm happy that everything went so well and I was able to do everyone proud. And thank you all so much, everyone who's watching, for all the amazing compliments and just warm thoughts after the stream match today. It was really nice and a little overwhelming to see the amount of support. So love you all. Thank you.
Well, I guess that means it's our turn.
Yep, it's your turn. Have fun.
All right. So, huge shout outs to Jay. Obviously, you know, I cannot tell you how many times this weekend I told you I was super proud of you and how excited I was for you and everything else, but I obviously meant every word of it.
Thank you.
But before we get sentimental, we're gonna get out of here. So. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're listening over on YouTube. If you're listening on any of the audio platforms, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Get notifications when we have stuff go up every week. If you're interested, you can always follow us at LR Lessons over on Twitter. Carl is at Musical VGC. I am at Mr. Missouri 25. You can also find Carl and I both on Twitch as well at Mr. Missouri 25 and at Musical. Come on over and join the community Discord. That's where you get to hang out with Jay, the #1 Orthworm player in the world.
Fear the worm, baby. We're worming out here.
I'm
Cue
I'm
my
done.
I am inevitable Earthworm meme.
I'm going to bed.
Me too. Me too.
I don't have that luxury.
I'm very quickly behind you here.
Yeah, come hang out in Discord. It's great. Check out the website, lrlessons.com. It's going to have our up-to-date calendar eventually when we have more stuff going on. You can check out the merch page while you're there. For now, it's still there. That's about the best thing I can say about it. It's
Still there.
And if you're interested in supporting us, you can always do so over at patreon.com for as little as like 50 cents an episode. At the $10 tier and higher, we give a shout out to our supporters. So want to give a shout out to Papa Swish and Johnny Bravo Sr. And of course, we also do Discord subscriptions now because that's a thing.
Yep.
So we want to give a shout out to Smeargle as well for being in that $10 tier as well. So that is it for this week, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.